Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about long-term thinking and why it's crucial for you as a man to develop this skill. So guys, personal development, becoming a better version of yourself, cutting out addictions, getting better results in the gym, having a large portion of money, attracting high quality friends and females and whatever, that takes time, right? That takes a vision. That takes years of work, consistent years of work. And so everybody wants a quick fix. Everybody wants $1 million in 2 years. Everybody wants to be free from addiction in 1 year, right? Guys, I was addicted to pornography from 2017 pretty severely all the way up until fall of 2020. I've just started to really put together a good amount. This past year has been a very successful year for me in terms of putting together solid streaks, 30, 40, 50, 60-day streaks, right? And I understand, right? I'm using this as an example, but I understand that to overcome things that are very troublesome, if you overcome them, they yield the greatest result possible, right? So if I overcome pornography, right? If I overcome that and I remain celibate for, until I basically voluntarily choose not to, if a woman comes along or whatever, I have overcome that. I have overcome that need to look at imagery, sexual imagery, right? And I have basically mastered that domain of my life. I have freed myself from that addiction. But it takes time, right? Because think about it. If I was chronically addicted, right, in which I was, to, jacking off for 3 years, right? And I'm talking 2 to 3 times a day, guys. And I know I'm being vulnerable here. I'm sharing my story, but you don't just go from 3 days or 3 times a day for 3 years to, I'm just gonna be free from this cold turkey in 2 months. It's not gonna work like that, right? And so I think of recovery, right? I'm just using recovery and addiction as an example because it's important to me and very intimate in my life. I'm using it as an example, but recovery doesn't happen in a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, right? I'm looking at this process as like a 3 to 5 year journey, like of me, slipping up. And as I slip up, the streaks get higher, the streaks get higher, the streaks get higher, right? And that brings me to my next point. It's like, if you're so in a rush to be successful or to overcome something or to obtain something, and you don't have long-term thinking, then you will fail and you will quit. But what long-term thinking allows you to do is it allows you to take the pressure off, right? And especially if you're young, like myself, right? I have time. So time is on my side. But if you're someone who's older, it may be different. But that's not the point. The point is you have to look at life as, you have to look at your personal development, whether that's, like I said, finances or fitness or addiction or relationships. You have to look at those areas of your life and look at them like 5 to 10 year phases, right? And you could be doing 2 things at once, but when we start to get impatient, we start to rush things, and we fail and we relapse, or we have a cheat meal, or we whatever, right? We relapse, we watch porn. That in and of itself, if you get frustrated and dig yourself down a deep hole by, feeling all emotional about it and pissed off and just overall not in a good state of mind, you're going to perpetually go down from there, because there's 2 ways to look at it. You can look at it as a setback, or you can look at it as part of the recovery phase or part of the transition phase to your greatest self, to your six-pack great body, or your whatever, your $1 million business, whatever it is. So we have a predicament here where people are just, they fail, or they relapse, or their business, it fails, whatever, and they quit. And it's because they didn't have a solid framework from the jump. They didn't see it through 5, 10, 20 years. They looked at it like, oh, 3 years, okay, in 2 to 3 years I'll have $1 million. And then 2 to 3 years go by, they fail, they don't have $1 million, they quit. But if you have a 5, 10, 20, 30 year framework / time frame, it's a lot different. There's room to fuck up, and there's room to pick yourself back up. And so that's why it's very crucial to have this sort of long-term game plan for yourself. And this long-term game plan is also crucial for instant gratification too, because, you know, early on in your journey, you may be feeling like, you know, everyone around you, like, let's say you're in college and you're not partying, you're not getting with girls, you're not part of like the football team or whatever, just anything. Right? Like, this is just broad. I'm painting broad strokes here. But if you self-develop, you can still get those things later in life. Like, people, it's weird. Like, kids who are in college think that, oh, I'm young, so this is the time to party. You can party when you're 30. You can party when you're 40. You're not limited to your early 20s that's not like the only time frame you can enjoy yourself, right? And so what people, you know, especially kids, right, young adults, they get it twisted and they get it backwards, thinking that it's now that I'm going, like, early in my life I'm going to enjoy myself, and then later in life I'll build myself up, when in reality you need to flip that framework and tell yourself, no, now I'm young, I have the most energy that I'll ever have, and this is crucial time for me to build a foundation and build my long-term framework for what I want my life to look like. So it's very important that we sacrifice too, right? That's another component to this equation. If you're not willing to sacrifice partying, girls, video games, going out with friends, you know, concerts, or going out to the mall, or whatever, like whatever fun shit the culture promotes, if you're not willing to sacrifice that to a great extent to achieve greatness, then you're not fit for the cause. You're not fit for what you want to do. You want your cake, you want to eat your cake and eat it too, and that's not how life works. So long-term thinking, planning, having a vision. In the Bible it says, the people perish when there is no vision, right? So if you don't have a vision is basically you seeing into the future what your life or the world will look like, right? And if you don't have that, which is basically the same thing as long-term thinking, a vision and long-term thinking are the same thing. If you don't have that, then you're going to fail, and everybody, listen, I fail, everybody fails. But it's not about who fails, it's about who gets up the most times and then reaches the end, right? You know, I was at an event a few weeks, actually a month ago, and we did some like Navy SEAL type training, and we basically, we were in push-up positions. There was 5 lines of us, right? 6 lines of us, and there was 7 people in each line. And we were in a push-up position on this deep hill, and it was very steep. And each group would run down and run back up the hill. And as they were doing that, the other 4 groups were holding a push-up position. And at the end, I started to fall down, but I kept getting up. I didn't let myself just stay down the whole time. I kept getting up. And that's the important part here, is to this long-term thinking. You're going to fail. There's no doubt. Whether it's, if you're trying to fight an addiction, you will relapse. If you're trying to build a business, you may have slow months where you're not getting clients or you're not making money. If you're trying to lose weight. There's going to be times where you put on weight. But the fucking main thing is for you to keep getting up every single time. And don't allow the setbacks to put you down a deep ass hole. Because that's what happens, for example, with pornography a lot of times in my case. Back when I was like severely addicted, I would really like get down on myself because I was like, dude, I'm in this very vicious cycle of continuous perpetuating self-sabotage. And I would just wallow for hours. Fuck, my life sucks. I'm never going to get over this. And with that thinking comes more of that thinking. And when you continuously do that, you push yourself back. So it's important to not think about not to wallow too much about your setbacks or your failures or your slip-ups, right? Because like I said, the long-term thinking offers you a plan that's basically for life. I'm going to fight for life, whether it's with food, whether it's with urges, sexual urges, whether it's with earning money or getting in shape, relationships. It's going to be a fight for life. And you guys have to realize that it's not just, oh, I'm going to be in shape in a month. No, I'm going to work out till I die. And I'm going to get there however means necessary. Right? So that basically sums up what I wanted to bring forth to you guys here. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, anything, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.